around ripening.
We've never used this before, but we're spraying this in hopes that it can delay the maturity of the premier honeycrisp.
I cooked them
Get redder on
burgers,
the tree, and then by the time
and then I'm going to
other
cook whatever
animals
else I
pick
cook
them,
with it later.
they're still at a
Look at that.
ripeness level that's ideal
Yeah,
for
just
storage.
let us in. Come on,
Grant
don't
wanted to
shut.
try something new
Don't shut
because
down.
things were rough last
Come on,
year.
I'm not in yet.
Growers across the country grew near
Oh my God.
record numbers of apples, roughly
Bitch.
11 billion pounds, according to the U.S. Agriculture.
I want
Chris
inside.
Gerlach says that overabundance of apples drove down prices and clogged up supply chains.
We've added about 35,000 apple acres over the last 5 years.
Gerlach tracks analytics for the U.S. Apple Association, a trade association for the apple industry. Many had to fruit on in addition to a lot more apple trees being planted in the U.S. in recent years, the way apples are grown has also changed. Nikki Rothwell is a fruit researcher with Michigan State University Extension.
If you look back at the way we used to grow trees, those big old trees, you'd climb ladders to do the picking.
Now, trees are grown close together on long trellises. The result almost looks like walls of fruit.
And they're doing exactly what the economic yield models predicted. We're growing a lot more really high quality fruit.
This may be the new normal, but it has its wrinkles. Some growers lost money because last year's high harvests drove the values of certain apple varieties so low. That's on top of the costs of labor, packing and storing the apples, and the commission for salespeople. Here's Chris Gerlach again.
Typically, at the end of the season, these apple growers will take the prices their apples were sold for minus these costs of services, and they'll get a check in the mail. Well, this year, lots of growers were getting bills in the mail because the value of their apples was less than the cost of services.
Although it's shaping up to be a big year again, estimates from U.S. Apple and the USDA predict there won't be nearly as many apples as last year. Emma Grant at Cherry Bay Orchards says she still expects a good year. She sprayed all those Premier Honeycrisp apples with ethylene blocker, and she says it worked. It bought a little more time for some of the apples to turn redder without over-maturing.
This is the third year in a row that we've had a big apple crop in Michigan, so if it continues down this way, things like this are just going to have to become commonplace.
Now, she says they'll have to wait and see how those apples hold up in storage until they're sold to people looking for fruit. For NPR News, I'm Ellie Katz in Interlochen, Michigan.
It's here in
Colorado Public Radio for music. Here because of donors who support this community resource. Thank you, Leanne and Robert Clausen, for your philanthropy. Learn about giving at cpr.org.
Support comes from Colorado School of Mines, where engineers and scientists are working to innovation beyond. Learn about graduate program options at mines.edu.
Support comes from Alpine Bank, a Colorado community bank serving the Front Range, mountains, and the Western Slope, focused on social and environmental responsibility with a commitment to community investment.
Something else